and welcome back to Pete's Couch. It's now only a couple of days until I go away to the Marathon des Sables. So I'll be flying to Morocco and running 250 kilometers over 6 days, hopefully. And of course, I've done a lot of training for that, which I've already talked about, but I've invested a lot into kit and researching kit. So in this last video that I record before I go away, I thought I'd show you all of the equipment that I'm taking, as well as the clothes I'm wearing and what I'm going to be eating over the course of the week. So the organisers have a list of rules for what you have to take in your bag. There's a bunch of mandatory kit. But firstly, they specify that your bag has to weigh between 6.5 kilograms and 15 kilograms, which is a huge gap. But I'm very much aiming for the lower end of that. I'm looking for around the 7 kilogram mark. And that's mostly because I want to be running for as much as possible and being as swift as possible during the daytimes. There are so many different people that take part in Marathon des Sables, and everyone's going to have different requirements, and a lot of people are going to want to have a lot of those comforts that are going to make it more of a pleasurable experience for them. For me, I'm going to cut out most of those comforts, and I have pretty much a 3 checklist system to deciding whether something goes into my bag. Firstly, can I eat it? Secondly, is it mandatory? Thirdly, can I live without it? And basically, if I can live without it, I can't eat it, and it's not mandatory, the chances are it's not going to go into my bag. It has to be a pretty special item if it is. So with that in mind, actually most of my bag weight is food. In fact, about 2/3 of my weight is food, and then the rest is just mandatory kit and a couple other bits that I want to take with me. So onto the mandatory kit. The first thing that the organisers state is that you have to take 14,000 calories of food, or 2,000 calories per day. Now I want to stay well fueled. You know, it's really important for me that I do. So I'm actually taking 20,000 calories. So underneath this video on the Mud School site, I'm going to post a spreadsheet of what I'm going to be taking each day, exactly how many calories, exactly how much weight. So if you want to get particularly geeky with it, then take a look at that. But from day to day, actually, I've gone for a not so varied diet. I know a lot of people are going to want to get a lot of variety in there, but what's important for me is getting the foods that are going to help me to perform the way that I want to perform. So having researched nutrition a lot and spoken to a lot of people, the overriding learning that I get from it is that everyone is different. Everyone has a different opinion. A back marker is going to have a completely different nutrition plan to a front runner. For me, it's just been useful to gather everyone's information and then just put it all together to make a plan that I think works for me. So what I've focused on mostly with my nutrition plan is to go quite complex carb heavy. So I want kind of slow release energy over the course of the day, and also quite protein heavy. I want to be able to recover and get ready for the next day. The things that I haven't been so focused on, which a lot of people will be, is fat. I know a lot of people are better fat burners than I am, and certainly the people who will probably be, spending more time walking than I hopefully will be, are going to be much better at burning fat than I am. So, and I also feel that the amount of fat that I need to burn, I feel like I've probably got stored in my body anyway. So I don't necessarily feel the need to bring more fat on top of what I already have stored. Also, another thing that I'm not going crazy on is sugars. I'm not taking gels and I'm not taking shot blocks. And the main reason for that is because I just feel that they're going to give me a really great boost, but it's going to be a boost for 20 minutes. And if I want to carry on having that boost, I'm going to have to take so many. So although each of the days are slightly different, have a look in the spreadsheet for that. I thought I'd just run through one day with you to give you a rough idea of what I'm going to be eating. Here is day 2's ration pack. As you can see, it's all nicely compact. This is my breakfast for day 2. This is an Expedition Foods granola breakfast. So I just need to add water to this and it becomes a nice kind of milky cereal. I've vacuum packed all of the meals that they normally come in like an orange Expedition Foods packet. And by taking these out of those orange packets and vacuum packing like these, I'm actually saving 20 grams per meal, which over the course of the week, I'm saving, a good 250, 300 grams, which is one of the best waste saving things I've done. So this granola is an 800 calorie meal. I've also added some chia seeds to it, so 20 grams of chia seeds, which not only adds a bit of goodness to it, but it also adds an extra 90 calories to it. So that's going to be a nice hearty breakfast right there. Then before I start running, I've got some energy drink to sip on. This is X Endurance Fuel 5, and the reason I've gone for this is because it's slower burning than regular energy drinks, so should be keep me going for a little while longer. Also got lots of really great minerals and stuff in there, which is going to help in the heat with all the sweat. During the race itself, I'm looking to eat Cliff Bars, so for day 2, I'm taking 2 Cliff Bars. So as soon as I cross over the finish line each day, the first thing I'll do is pour some recovery powder into a bottle and drink that. This is just my protein recovery excess. I've been using it for years. It's a good mix of protein and carbs. And yeah, I find it a really, really great recovery powder. So then coming into the evening meal, it's another expedition food I've got here this evening. It is spag bowl, which is actually one of their tastiest options, I think. So this is another 800 calorie meal. What I'll do with these, by the way, I obviously won't be able to eat them and mix them inside these vacuum packets. I'll cut one of my water bottles in half, pour it all into there, put the water in. I'm actually going to have all of these cold, so all of my meals will be cold, well, as cold as it can get in a desert, because I don't really want to take the extra weight of a stove. Again, that's one of those luxuries that I just would rather not deal with. I can pretty much eat anything, so cold spag bowl will be totally fine for me. Also, to go along with that, in the evening, my snacks of macadamia nuts. So macadamia nuts are one of the highest calorie to weight ratio foods there are. There's about 7 calories or 7.5 calories per gram of macadamia nuts, so they're amazing. And also some jerky or biltong on different days. So that would be a really nice bit of protein and just something nice and tasty to chew on. So that's it, that's my day 2 food, and so that's going to be around 3,000 calories, just over, and weighing in at about 700 grams. So now on to all of the other mandatory kit that MDS insist that you bring, and the majority of it is what's on this table here. And first up, they insist on a bag, of course, for you to carry your stuff. I've already talked about my bag quite a lot. I've done a review for it, which I will link to up in the corner. Is it going to be this corner? Yeah, that corner up there. So you can go and check that out there. This Ultimate Direction Fastpack 20 is really, really great. Massively recommend it. So that's what I'm going to be stuffing all of this into and weighing shortly. The next thing on the mandatory list is a sleeping bag. Now, this is something that I've put a lot of thought into. And really, obviously, you need to go with something very light, but you also need to go with something very warm, because in the desert, it gets down to around 4 degrees at night time. You're going to be sleeping in an open-sided tent where there's going to be a wind coming through. So staying warm at night is important. My original plan, the sleeping bag that I wanted to get, was the Raid Light Combi Down Duvet, which is actually just a regular sleeping bag, but it has holes in the sides that you can put your arms out and wear like a jacket, which would be nice at night time when it's cool. You know, you can walk around and kind of keep yourself warm. I was really sad that I couldn't get hold of one of them. They were all sold out. So they then managed to get hold of this WAR MDS Ultra Sleeping Jacket. Now this is really super cool. It's the weight of it isn't too bad. Hold on, let me just grab my scales. The weight of it is about 700 grams, so it's more than some of the very ultra light sleeping bags, some of which probably aren't warm enough. But what's really great about it is that it comes in a jacket, so I can wear this around camp at night time and it's going to keep me really nice and warm. And then when it comes to sleeping, we have half a sleeping bag here that you step into, and it zips up into the bottom of the jacket. Then of course we have to take a head torch because on the long day in particular we're going to be running through the night, and it's great to have a really good quality head torch to kind of keep yourself awake as well as see where you're going. So I'm taking this silver Trail Runner head torch, which is a really good torch, great battery life and super bright. Also, they specify that you have to take a spare battery for the head torch, and this battery that comes on this silver head torch is actually really heavy, so I found that it's lighter to bring a really small secondary head torch. So I've got this black diamond head torch that weighs next to nothing and is much lighter than this extra battery pack. So what I'll probably end up doing, I'll use this around the camp for most of the week, but then when it comes to the long stage, I'll use this. So this really is just my spare batteries. Whizzing through a few more of the basic things on there, we've got to take 10 safety pins. We've got to take a compass. We've got to take a lighter. We've got to take a whistle. I've taken this whistle off of an Innovate backpack. It's a tiny little thing and weighs next to nothing, which is brilliant. Then a knife with a metal blade, and I'm taking this Swiss Army knife, which has not only got my knife on it, it's also got a pair of scissors on it, which are really great for when it comes to taping toes. Then also on the list we have the anti-venom pump, the signalling mirror, and the classic aluminium sheet. Then they say you need topical disinfectant, and there's a little bit of uncertainty about what they actually mean there, but I'm covering this off in two ways. Firstly, I'm taking alcohol hand gel, just the regular stuff, which is going to be really important for preparing food and stuff like that. Then I'm taking this benzoin tincture, which if you watch Rory Coleman's videos about taping feet, he explains that this is really great for spraying onto your feet, getting them nice and clean, and also it really helps the tape stick to your feet. So this is a brilliant thing to take. Then of course we have sun cream. I'm also taking some lip sun protection as well. And lastly, we have passport along with a bank card and 200 euros in cash. Now I've been trying to get hold of a 200 euro note to save a bit of weight, but I haven't been able to get hold of one. But I think 450s, it's only a difference about 1.5 grams. So it's fine, I'm gonna go with that. So that's it for the mandatory kit. So everything else is a luxury for me. And the things that I'm going to be taking in addition to start with are my iPhone. It's not for making calls or sending texts or anything like that. I'm actually going to be using this as my camera. So I'm going to be recording a bit of a vlog using this. I'm also going to be using it for music, although I don't plan to listen to music very much. It might just come into play when I need a boost on the long day. So then of course I need something to charge my phone and charge my watch as well. So I'm taking this little power bank, which is an Anker 10,000 mAh power bank. An iPhone lead. I managed to get a really tiny, very light iPhone lead, and the lead for my watch here as well. Also I'm taking a bit of bungee cord, which I may use to repair stuff. It's always nice to have and doesn't weigh very much at all. Then we have some earplugs for nighttime, just in case there's any snorers in the tent. Got a toothbrush, of course. These little things here are rather clever. These are Wemmy wipes, so they're about the size of a mint, but when you wet them, they open out into a wet wipe. So that's going to be quite good for a hygiene thing. Also, I'll dry them out and use them as toilet paper. Also on the toilet paper front, I am taking one packet of tissues as well. All of that is not very much, but I'm hoping I don't get a bad stomach. That would suck. So then one of my biggest luxuries has been my poles. I'm actually going to take these so that when you do have to do the hiking, when you have to do the dunes, when you have to do the really hilly stuff, this is going to make life a lot nicer. Because I actually intend to be running a lot of the time, I know that I'm going to be carrying these quite a lot. So I went for the absolute lightest set of poles I could get, which aren't necessarily the best poles, but they are super light. They're these Mountain King Trailblaze carbon fiber poles. So I've actually got some larger baskets to put on the end, which will really help in the sand dunes. These are obviously made for powder. These are powder baskets for skiing. I'm taking a lightweight spoon. Then on the chafing front, I'm taking 3 tubes of gurney goo and a pair of spare socks. And then we've got the all-important bottles. Now, I've gone for hard bottles because they're really easy to fill up at the aid stations. And you'll also notice I've gone for one with a straw and one without. The reason I've done that is because this one without, this Ultimate Direction bottle, is absolutely brilliant. It has a unique design at the top, which means that it doesn't leak at all. You can move around as much as you want, it doesn't leak. And it has a kind of a squishy teat at the top, which you can bite into and move the bottle around as much as you want without breaking your teeth, and it's just really, really comfortable. And you can also turn the bottle up vertically, yet still being able to drink into it. So like this. So if I wasn't taking poles, I'd actually get 2 of those Ultimate Direction ones, but as I am, it would be good to have one with a straw, which is why I've gone for this Raid Light bottle here with a straw, which is really great, does the job, and again, it doesn't really leak, so that's perfect. And lastly, I'm taking a few pills. I'm taking some Imodium, so hopefully I won't get a bad stomach, but even if I don't, the chances of running over that kind of distance, I'll probably want to take a couple of those every day anyway. And I'm also taking some Pro Plus to give myself a caffeine boost when I need it. So that's all the stuff I'm carrying. And now before I start cramming that into the bag and weighing it, let's have a quick look at what I'm going to be wearing. So first of all, here's the shirt. Now, you're probably as disappointed as I am that this shirt isn't yellow. And believe me, I've tried. The first shirt I got was this really great WAR number, which seemed perfect. It had pockets on the front, it was really comfortable, and it also had this line of pockets on the back, which is great, you can carry stuff in there, but WAR, it is so stupid. Like, so this line of pockets here, not only has it got Velcro there that rubs through to the inside, this line of stitching and the Velcro is at exactly the point where your bottom of your bag rubs your back. So this has given me some really nasty sores. It's ridiculous. This is made for ultra running, yet they've put this line on the back. So WAR, this is rubbish. I've then moved on to this Raid Light shirt, which is super light. It's white. It's like you're wearing tissue paper. There's nothing of it. So I'm not expecting it to last, but actually for this trip to the desert, it's going to be perfect. So then moving on to the feet, we have the Innovate Trail Talons, which I've reviewed before. Check out the link here. I've now had Velcro stitched around the outside of these, which is for attaching the gaiters to. Now I have gone for these Raid Light gaiters that seem really good. They're really light. They seem really nice and breathable. And initially, again, because they're yellow, I went for the WAR gaiters, which I decided against because number one, they're tiny. Now they didn't seem to be any sizing, so I assume this is the only size, and they're definitely not big enough to get around my feet. And also they've got no toe protection at the front, whereas these Raid Light ones have kind of got this nice leather toe protection at the front there. The gaiters just attached the outside here, and hopefully stop any sand coming in. So then socks, I'm taking these Innovate Race Ultra socks. They're just nice and light and breathable. Calf sleeves, I love 2XU calf sleeves, and I decided against taking black ones because of the heat, and the only other light color I could get was pink. So I'm going to be wearing pink 2XU calf sleeves. So then shorts, I'm still backwards and forwards on, and it's something that I'll probably decide when I'm out there. The option I'm leaning towards at the moment is wearing some 2XU compression shorts. My only worry about these is they might feel really hot in the sun, but we'll see. And the other option is to wear 2-in-1 2XU shorts. These are similar to what Hellard wore last year, which have got compression on the inside and then flowing material on the outside, which is great. A couple extra pockets, but I'm not sure I'm going to need that though. So preference probably is to wear these. And then finally, we get a bit of yellow. I'm going to be wearing my Mudsicle neck scarf, of course, which will protect me in any sandstorms. And then we have sunglasses. I just have a pair of cycling sunglasses. Don't even know who makes them, Cross, but they'll do the job, nice and light. Should stop most sandstorm activity. Then moving on to hat, I did get this Raid Light hat, which has got this great neck scarf, which obviously you need. But the problem with this hat is that it rides up really high on the head. It's nowhere near good enough for my massive head. So I'm ditching that, but using this handkerchief on with this awesome Innovate hat. Like that. So yeah, they fit together really nicely. So now the moment of truth, does all of this fit in my bag and how much does it weigh? Stand by. So this is it. It's time to find out how much my final pack weighs. I've done lots of calculations and I'm hoping it's coming out a figure that I'm looking for. Ooh, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Here we go. You ready? Final figure, 7.3 kilograms. That'll do. I was hoping for 7, but I think by the time I've added in a few extra bits, a few extra little plastic bags to keep stuff together, I'm happy with that. I might see if I can trim a little bit, but 7.3 I think I can live with. Good times. So that's it, thanks for watching. I look forward to sharing my experiences with you once it's all over. You can keep an eye on me in the desert. I'm number 947. So if you go to the Marathon des Sables website and if you follow them on social media, you should see that they've got a GPS tracker on me, so you'll be able to see a dot moving through the desert. They'll have a finish line camera, then they'll also publish the results each day. Plus, if you want to send me any messages when I'm out there, you can just go to the website there, type in my number, and send an email through that website, and then they print up all those emails and give them to me each evening in the camp. So it'll be great to hear from you all. Also, I'm running in support of Concern Worldwide, so if you'd like to donate something, it'll be massively appreciated. I'll leave a link at the bottom of this video. Other than that, I'll see you all when I come back. Cheers guys, see you later.